Okay, so a few things to kick off with. As some of you know, I have quite a severe medical throat issue, which means I'm actually supposed to be wearing a microphone and all different stuff, because they said to me, again, apologies to those of you who've heard this before, but they said to me, there are 3 things I must not do. First thing is I shouldn't speak. Second thing was do not get emotional. And the third one was under no circumstances get too excited. Yeah, good luck with that one. So that basically is me in a nutshell. So God is good, and we're going to rock and roll, and we're going to kick ass tonight, and we'll see how we get on. So, cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, man? All right, so as many of you will know, I lecture a lot, and I've been privileged. Welcome, Adam, in the house.
Yay.
Just in time, bro. Take a seat, man. I'll grab a drink, take a seat, or hit the pit, whichever works for you. So I'm privileged to lecture quite a bit, perform all and stuff. Been in work to 23 different countries, all that kind of stuff. But that means that I have a lot of lectures. Having said that, tonight's lecture has to be one of my favourites. This is something that Papa God put on my heart a long, long time ago. I mean, literally, over a decade ago. And through the years, it's just sort of sharpened and sharpened and sharpened. Initially, it was for corporate consultancy. I was doing a whole bunch of work for Hilton hotels, Marriott hotels, all this different stuff, looking at morale and how the morale in the workforce was dropping down through the floor. And they'd bring me in as a motivational speaker to rattle cages, inspire people, get back on track, rock and roll. We'd kick ass, we'd be in a good place, and we'd move on. And then the CEOs would, generally speaking, take over again, and it would plummet, and the same thing would happen all over again and call me back. But as I was doing that, I was realising, you know what, this is really important for all of us. It's especially important for artists and creatives. So when we talk about artists, right, Mary and I have mentioned this time and time and time again. We will never get sick of mentioning this time and time and time again. What do we mean by artists? We mean by all of us. What do we mean by creatives? We mean all of us at the end of the day. Okay? We are made in the image of the ultimate creator. Made in his image. That means we are creative. So I don't want people switching off going, I'm not an artist, I'm not creative. Right, if you're breathing, you're creative. Simple as. So, this is a little something for all of us. This evening's lecture, technically, is called The VIP Lifestyle. And it's all about the VIP lifestyle. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. We can go now. So, what we mean by VIP, normally within the world and certainly the business sector, when we talk about VIP, we talk about very important person. But that's not what I'm rocking on about tonight, because none of us are very important people, and all of us are very important people. But I'm talking about vision, inspiration, and potential. Vision, inspiration, and potential. So these are the building blocks, if you will, the building block ingredients for our identity and for us moving forward. Now, a couple more things just quickly. First of all, my apologies to those of you in the front row. Actually to all of you, but certainly those in the front row. I do move around quite a lot. I don't keep still very often. So you might get travel sick, seasick, whatever it is, and that's fine. If you just turn around and throw up that way, that would be great. Just kidding. All right, so reaction. Way. So usual deal. I say this all the time, but it kind of is, and I joke about it, but it is important. So 2 things. Number 1, I do tend to use quite a lot of slang when I speak, which you guys know very, very well, huh? So if you've got no idea what I'm talking about, because it doesn't feel like you better rock and roll with you, it doesn't blow in your garden, you've got no hip to the jive, then just say to me, I have no idea what you're talking about. Put your hand up and say, Danny, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I really, really do not understand. Okay? And I will ignore you. I will change things so that they're a little bit more understandable. Secondly, as I said before, I do speak quite quickly. I only speak quickly when I get excited, and contrary to all the medical conditions, I get excited all the time. So if I'm going 100 miles an hour, I'm going to speak way too fast, way too fast, because I was 100 miles an hour, I can't do whatever, I'm going to speak too fast for you, then slow me down to say, slow down. Oh. And again, I'll do my very best to totally ignore you. Yes, no, to respond. All right, so that's the plan. So we'll see how we get on, and we'll rock and roll. I've done some notes. I will probably stick vaguely to them, but probably will just be vaguely. Okay, so we'll start off with vision. Now, this is old school stuff. I decided not to use like projector and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to talk to you, especially since we're such a small gathering. So again, if you're not understanding something and you want me to sort of rewind, then I'm happy to do that. We are recording it, so there's opportunity for us to do playback for you at a later date if you miss something and you particularly want to grab hold of that. So I'm going to start off with a little quote. We're going to take a look at vision. I mean, what do we mean by the word vision? And it's a bit of a hornet's nest. It can mean all sorts of different things, depending whether you want to go from one specific school of thought, or whether you want to go from another, or kind of mix the two. So this is what I'm talking about. All right. So I want you to close your eyes for a second, so you can just like listen in here, and then you can open your eyes, then we'll rock and roll a little bit. Right. So vision. Vision is looking out of ourselves and into the face of chance. It is our informed imagination at play on the sea of possibility. One more time. Vision is looking out of ourselves and into the face of chance. It's our informed imagination at play on the sea of possibility. Okay, so you can open your eyes if you like. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand that with vision, we're talking about looking out of ourselves. That's the first point, really important point. Looking out of ourselves and into the world. The problem is, for most of us, is that we first of all look in at me, into ourselves, and then we look out of the world, out to the world, through the filter of ourselves, through the filter of our own heart. Jono here is a beautiful, precious man, right? If you know him, know that's the truth, right? Those of you who don't know him, spend 2 minutes with him and you'll know that's the truth. This is a beautiful, precious man, right? That's the fact, that's the reality. However, I could be so far up myself, all right? I could be looking into myself, marinating in all of my prejudice and my resentment, that when I look out and I see this beautiful, precious man, that's not what I see. I see this person tarnished and covered in all of that that's in my heart. You get me? You get me? Right? That's what we're talking about. So vision, for vision to be vision, we've got to look out of ourselves and into the world. Right? Very, very key thing. Now the thing is, if you take a look at Jeremiah 17:9, it says the heart is deceitful. In fact, in whichever version you want, in one version, the heart is deceitful, sick without a cure. Right? So the heart is deceitful above all things, sick without a cure. That's the heart. Jaboom, jaboom, jaboom. So once again, if I'm looking at the world, if I'm looking not just at the beautiful, precious Jono, but his beautiful, precious wife, Tracy, if I'm looking at Tracy, again, through my own mechanism, through my own filter, through my own yuck that's going on, all right, then I'm not seeing the truth and reality of who she is. Because the heart, my heart, is deceitful above all things. It's sick without a cure. That is the direct reference. That's the good news, guys. All right. Thankfully, there is such a thing as a massive heart transplant, which changes everything. Hallelujah to that. But we've got to get real when we start taking a look at vision as an aspect. Even our starting point is already blurred at best. Deceitful, So our starting point is not neutral. We do a lot of work in class, guys, yeah? We talk about neutral all the time. Yeah. So feet slightly apart, knees slightly bent, pulling up, torso facing front and left, centre, left, centre, right. Okay, away we go. And it's all about, yeah, Adam in the house. It's going to be fun, man. That's what I'm talking about, yeah. Yeah, man. All right. So we're talking about, it's all about centering ourselves. I mean, always coming back to come from a point of neutral. That's our plan. In terms of our lives, emotionally, physically, spiritually, we're not at a point of neutral because there's all this stuff that's happened that we're carrying along with us, and we're looking often at each other tarnished, coloured, tainted by this other stuff, all right? So we'll come back to how we resolve that in a second, all right? But we need to start this evening and keep it real. And that's the bottom line. That's where we're coming from. Yeah, we hope and pray we come from a point of neutrality, but the bottom line is it's still being dealt with, right? We're still getting there. It's not something to beat ourselves up over and go, no, right? We're getting there. We are getting there. We are getting there. But right now there's a few little kinks in the way, right? That's the reality of where we're at. That's the good news. Okay, so, all right, I'm trying to go 100 miles an hour. VIP. I could take you away for a whole weekend, and in fact I've done this, had a whole weekend, so a day for each one. A day for vision, a day for inspiration, and a day for potential. We're not going to do that, don't worry. I'm not going to lock the door to keep you here for 3 days, but I am going to give you the key kind of bullet points for that. It's going to be too much for you, I tell you right now, all right? I'm going to try and put this much into this much time. And that is deliberate, because as I've said so many times, if I do my job right this evening, you should leave here with two things. You should be inspired and you should be frustrated. Yeah, man. All right, you should be inspired and you should be frustrated. Not just inspired so you put it on the shelf and go, oh, that's nice. You polish it every now and again, oh, that was nice. You should be frustrated so it's rumbling inside of you. You go, yeah, but what the hell do I do with it? Ah. Right, that's going to cause us to actually get into motion. Right, which is important. Yeah? Alright, lets us know, lets the world know we're alive. Okay, moving on. I want to distinguish and differentiate between vision and focus. Right? Two words, right? Vision and focus. Okay, Morgan will want this, trust me. Vision and focus. There are two, these are not the same thing. Vision and focus are not the same thing. Vision is the bigger picture. Focus is the detail. Hello. Vision is the bigger picture. Focus is the detail. Really important for us, again, to differentiate between this. So, going through what we're going through in our lives, there are detailed steps that take us all the way through. And what happens is that we have a sense of what's going on, but we have an incomplete picture. There's so much that we still don't know. There's so much that we want to know, that we need to know, but we still don't know. So, you could go to the best college in the world, you could go to the best university in the world, you could go to the best education establishment in the world, and you could learn all you could possibly learn. Right? It's still not gonna be enough. Right? It's not gonna be enough. You're still gonna find yourself in a place where you're gonna say, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on here. I've got a sense of it, I've got part of it, but I want more. I need more. Those of us who have a passionate belief and faith in Papa God, we would say, you know what, if you go to God, you can pray. Show me. And God will give you everything. Every time. Yeah? Mm-hmm. No. That's not how it works, is it? That's not how it works. And the reason, or one of the reasons, there are many reasons, but one of the reasons why it doesn't work is that vision is the big picture. It is a huge, huge picture. And that picture is way, 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 way too big for us to handle. I think I want to know it all. I think I want to know everything there is to know. Give it to me right here, right now, God. Give me the pan and the plan for the man that is Dan for my life. And my wife. Yeah, man. I think I want that. But Papa God's saying, Daddy, trust me, you don't. I go, yeah, I can handle it. Trust me, you can't. No, I can. Get swag on. Yeah, man, I can handle it. No, you can't. Yeah, man. Okay, I'll give you a bit more. Whoa! See? That's what happens, right? So vision is the big picture. We can't handle the big picture. This is why we need to have little details, the step, the light, the lamp for the step, for the next step along the path. That's it. Now, the thing is, take a few seconds, take a little look around, turn around, face each other, have a little smile. There we go. How British, lovely. Excellent. Right, so, thing is, you might have noticed this, but we're not all the same. Thank you very much. What a discovery. Wow. Danny. Right? We are not all the same. It's so much information. We're not all the same. Right? We're different. We're not just a little bit different. We are really different. We are so different. Yeah? And we're supposed to be. Right? That's why we're designed, created. God, we're supposed to be. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Vision, focus. Bigger picture, detail. Some people here just love the big picture. Just give me the big picture, catapult me into the bigness of the picture. Yeah, man. I don't need no detail. Just catapult me there. I'll land, boom, I'll arrive, and I'll deal with what's in front of me. Bring it on. Others of us are very detailed people. In theory, we talk about it as being narrative. It's a join the dots, step by step, by step, by step, by step way. Give me the details. Hit the picture, yeah, okay, yeah. I understand the big picture thing, but how do we get there? Yeah? What is the strategy? What are the details? Cross the T's, dot the I's. You get me? Now, it's not that one's right and one's wrong. They are just very, very different. You get me? So, it will be no surprise to you to know that I'm very much the vision person. I'm very much a big picture person. Right? I don't need the details. I don't need things to make sense at all. All right? I just need to have a sense of truth, have a sense of honesty, transparency, and jump. And we'll see what happens. Way. That's me. Bring it on. I'm going. For other people, it's like, no, how can you do that? You need to work on this and this and this and this and this. Again, it's not that one is right, one is wrong. It's because we need two wings to fly. You need two wings to fly. Otherwise, you just go around in circles. Two wings. One of those wings is the bigger picture. The other wing is the detail. If we just have the big picture, then we have no strategy on how to get there. We have no accountability. We have no sense of direction. We have no measure and yard and measure stick. We need to know that this equals this, but according to the bigger picture. So if we just have the big picture and no detail, we are in danger of losing perspective. And we're in danger of not being grounded. Bottom line. However, if we're all detail, say, hello, there's a world out there. If we're just detail, then it's claustrophobic. It's smothering, it's claustrophobic, it's like the walls closing in. The details only make sense in the context of the bigger picture. Hello. Yeah? The details only make sense. In fact, the details only have value. Right? Let's be that controversial. The details only have, they're not valued in themselves. The details only have value in context of the bigger picture. Like we said before, even words themselves have no value. It's the meaning. The words are just a vehicle that transports meaning, hopefully truth. Yeah? So the details by themselves are insufficient unless we have the context of the bigger picture. But the bigger picture is not going to be realized. It's not going to become reality if we don't have some step-by-step strategies in order for us to attain it. Yeah, man?
Yeah.
You get me? All right. So we need both, we need two wings to fly. You'll hear me saying that reference time and time again. All right, so let's move on. So sometimes we will get the bigger picture that will be presented to us. Those, whether we are bigger picture people or not, because that's just sometimes how it works. We get the bigger picture. We don't know how it's going to happen. We don't know what the details are. We just got the bigger picture. Other times we get thrown a little jigsaw piece of detail. We're going, what the heck does that mean? Yeah? And I've got my little jigsaw piece, and Stacey's got her little jigsaw piece, and mine's mine, my precious, my precious. And Stacey's got hers, she's like, my precious. Yeah. And Adam's got his, my precious, precious. All right, that's what's going on. What happens is, in order for those details to come together to make the bigger picture, I have to share with beautiful, precious Stacey. All right? She brings her little jigsaw piece, and I go, whoa! Adam brings his jigsaw, way! And we start to get a sense of the bigger picture. Sometimes that bigger picture cannot happen, / usually cannot happen, just by ourselves. Even with just with us by ourselves in our walk with Papa God. Right? We've got to connect other people, have the little detail pieces as well, to make the details come together to form the bigger picture. How cool is that?
Yeah.
How exciting is that? Unless, of course, you spend all your time hating your neighbour, being resentful, bitter, proud, arrogant, whatever it is, in which case you want to alienate yourself from the people that have the very peace you need. Peace and peace. That one's for free. Yeah, man. All right. There's a season. Okay, sometimes a season when we're given this little detail there. And that's it. And it is the season of detail. Whether we're detailed people or not, it's the season of detail. Yeah? I've been in that place a little bit. I'm in that place right now, actually, to an extent. Some of you know I'm doing quite a bit of training, 2-day, whole week theology course. A lot of reading, a lot of studying, just a lot. It's detail, 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 detail. And I have to be disciplined to plough through the detail. Because I'd be very happy just to jump in and go, wait, let's see what happens. Right? But the very reason I'm doing it is because I know I need to have that detail. But this is a season of detail for me. This season will pass, right, for sure. And it'll be a season of jump. It'll be a season of just jump off the cliff, way, and let's see what happens. That time's coming, I know. But for now, it's the season of detail. Right? It's the same for some of you. For others of us here, it is the season of vision. It's the season of the bigger picture. We've been walking around, marinating in this, and it's time to go, how does that fit into the bigger picture that's going on? Yes? So not only do we need two wings to fly, right? The detail and the bigger picture, but there are seasons for that. And we can't resent that. Well, we can, just don't. I can't be Danny like, yeah, I'm a bigger picture person, man. Right? And God's going, yeah. Detail. I go, no, I don't do detail. You got the wrong guy. All right, really need to hang out with somebody else because, like, you know, like, well, hello, don't do detail. Like, yeah, you do. Or no, you don't, but you need to learn. Again, two wings to fly. With me, right? That's what we need. That's what excites us and brings us forward. Okay. Are we good so far? Mm-hmm. All right. I want to move on to another little paradox thing, and I love paradox. Actually, yeah, I love paradox. I love contradiction, controversy, all that kind of stuff. Paradox, passion and order. Passion and order.
Passion, order. Passion, order. Passion, order. Passion, order. Passion, order. Passion, order. Passion, order.
Say passion. Oh, no, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I forgot where I was. Different show. Different gear. Sorry. Passion and order. Okay, so these are friends, and they're integral to us moving forward. It might have struck you that I am quite passionate. I'm quite a passionate individual, actually. What a surprise. Passion and order. Passion, by definition, has that sense of being explosive. Yeah? Sometimes even seems a bit of a loose cannon. Sometimes even seems being a bit out of control. Questionable. Uncertain. Definitely unpredictable. Passion. In other words, it can be seen as being out of order, as opposed to order. We go back to our detail again. Yeah, considered, planned, structured, orderly. Order. But they're not enemies. And again, we need two wings to fly. It's not that one is right, one is wrong. They're just very, very different. But we also have context with that. So, I am an extremely, extremely passionate individual. I'm also highly abstract, and I'm also an incredibly deep feeling, very sensitive individual. I'm very confident, I'm in your face, but I'm also incredibly sensitive. Right? My heart is very, very, very tender. But I'm also, bring it on, all right, and I'll crack a few heads if I have to, we'll see what happens. Right? Again, that kind of paradox thing that's going on. But first and foremost, I'm passionate. However, if you come home, right, with me, my lovely wife Mary, and you see our home is pretty neat, pretty tidy, pretty much in order. You can pretty much walk into a house at any point in time and it's pretty orderly, except for my desk. That's a bit of a mess. So again, it's that walking contradiction. Everything about me is explosive, it's passionate, it's kind of out there, and yet a very important part of me is very, very ordered. And I need that in my life. Right? I need that aspect, I need that oasis area. For all of my life has been pretty manic. Not knowing what's going on when, firework displays all over the place, metaphorically speaking. And as I said to some of you who have had the privilege of having you around to our home, we shut the door in the world, one of my phrases, People come around and say, oh, this is nice. I said, yeah, we shut the door in the world and it's home. So I've got the passion that needs to be order. An illustration for you, all right? A river, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful river needs banks. The river bank, either side. Because a river without a bank is a flood. And we've seen what the floods have been doing over the UK and other countries recently. So the banks, not the monetary banks, that's a completely different story. Don't get me on that one. Do not get me on that one. But the banks, the river banks, right, provide the channel, the discipline, if you will, to allow the river to be what it needs to be, which is a river as opposed to a destructive flood. Yes? That's discipline. That's boundaries that need to be there. That's healthy for us. Yeah? So even with the bigger picture, there need to be boundaries, which is what context is. Yeah? But we're not defined by them per se, but they do help bring the structure to our lives. Without order, we have chaos, which is destructive and non-productive. Angela!
Hi.
Hello.
We have the front seat.
She's like creeping in really quietly. Ooh.
Oh, you're finished work.
No problem at all. All right, so
All that again.
I can't let Angela come in quietly. I don't know, some of you were here the last lecture, and this young lady here and Jeannie, some of you know Jeannie, they were the naughty girls in the back row. Jeannie, and okay, it was her fault. It was her fault. Oh, I love it, it's brilliant. Okay,
Thanks.
yeah, I'm going to go back a little bit. Yeah, so we do need those banks, and those banks channel our river, or channel the river, the flow, all right, and we need it. That's the discipline that we need for our lives. So a river without the banks becomes a flood. The flood is destructive rather than constructive. Passion and order. Without order, we have chaos, which is destructive and non-productive. Without passion, we have dull boredom, legalism, claustrophobia, and in the long term, the same non-productiveness. So if you want to have a recipe to be non-productive in your lives, it is to just insist on passion with no order, or just insist on order with no passion. Now for me as a passionate person, not just because I'm a passionate person, but because I have a calling on my life to help people, to drill into people and to help people realize their full potential, right? I find it extremely, extremely frustrating at very, very best, heartbreaking at worst, when I see people who appear to have no passion. They work so hard to keep everything consistent, controlled, and orderly. Thank you very much. It's a flat line. In medical terms, flatlining is
Dead.
thank you very much. Right, I want to be dead. Then she want to go, stand back, boom, resurrection, yeah, bring it on. I'll have some of that, big time. Yeah, man. Right, but flatlining, no thank you. So we need to have these dynamics which seem to contradict themselves. And that's what gives us the heartbeat. We want that. Again, back in the hospital, you want to say beep, boop, beep, beep, you do not want that. Beep. Oh, that's nice. It's so peaceful. It's so still. Yeah, man?
Yeah.
Right, get the paddles out. Stand back. All right. Do you believe? You better do. Stand back. Shaboom, boom. Lazarus. Take off the grave clothes. All right, that's another story. Yeah, man. All right, I'm going to try and behave. I'm going to fail. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right. So, Bethany, welcome. All right. I said, you know, did she warn you? All right. Okay, so I'll give you a few little interesting medical. I looked up some medical stuff. I don't usually look at medical stuff because I've been for about 40 years. I think I've been to hospital once in 40 years. And then after that, after I had the seizure and so forth, I don't think I went to hospital 40 times in 1 year. It's like, so yeah, I try not to spend too much time pressing into medical stuff, but I found it very, very exciting, so I'm going to share it with you a little bit. Before I get into that, so vision is not just a nice idea, right? This is really important. Vision is not just a nice idea, it's not an option. It's not like I think I'll have some vision. It's not like, what day is that? Was Wednesday, it's market day. It's Saturday, it's market day. So I'll go down, I get my little bag. Have some grapes, thank you very much, yeah. Have some avocados, love avocado. Some avocados, yeah. Some bananas, yeah man, can't go wrong with some bananas. Some chilies, yeah. Right, Scotch bonnet, yeah, seriously, I'll have a load of those. And I'm going online, I think Vision. Do I want some vision? Nah. Oh, okay, yeah, can I just have like a little bit of vision, please? It's distant. No, not too much. It's not an option, right? It's not an option, it's not an option, it's not an option. Without vision, the people perish, right? Without vision, the people perish. What do we mean? We looked at what vision might mean, there's a few more packages in there. Perish. What do we mean by perish? What does perish mean? Good old English, proper word. What does perish mean, guys?
Go bad.
Go bad? Die?
Rotten.
Rotten, yeah. All right, so our friend. So what happens, right, when you get a peach, a nice, soft peach, and maybe an avocado and a little banana, and you put them together in a bowl, and you put them on a windowsill in the sun, and you go away on holiday for 8 weeks, right? Because Angela usually has an 8-week holiday because she doesn't really do anything else. She just doesn't work or anything like that. You know? That's a lie. She works very, very hard. All right, so you go on holiday. There's your bowl with your peach in the sun, right? Then, when you come back, maybe you went on holiday and you had some work to do there. So let's say 8 weeks later, a couple of months later, you come home. Now that bowl's been sitting there roasting away, man, you know. All right, in the sunshine. And the peach is there. What happens?
Disgusting.
What? Yeah, you go off the plane, right? The plane lands in Heathrow, boom. And you hear the sound in the distance. You think, that's where I live. And you start driving, you park the car. And you can't quite get close to the house, so you've got to park it like half a mile away. You have to walk, and you hear. It gets louder and louder, closer and closer you get to your house. It gets louder and louder. And then you get to the door, and it's now deafening. And you force the door open, and there's this stink, this smell just goes. All right? This is Kieran, wonderful Kieran, bless him. I'm not messing with his head, I'm shouting in his face. He puts up with a lot, this man, he puts up with a lot. You get on the door and there's this smell, man. It smells so bad it almost knocks you back. And you realise then it's not just a sound, but the whole house is shaking. And you go into the kitchen and you go towards the bowl and the peach, and the peach is taking. You look at the peach and say, remember me? And it's wearing its own big blue fur coat. And it's pulsating. And you go to pick it up, and it just goes. And you're going. The peach is dead, man. It's dead. It has perished. Yeah, man. So think about that in your brain, right? Without vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29:18. Without vision, the people perish. The bottom line is that without vision, we die. End of. End of. So we need vision. It's integral, it's imperative, it's central to who we are. Right? It's got to happen. And again, at best frustrating, at worst heartbreaking, when we meet people, and Mary and I have the privilege, in inverted commas, of doing this all the time, people who've lost their vision. Right? They've lost their passion, that's one thing. That's upsetting enough. But they've lost their vision. I used to have a vision and now I don't. And we can see it. You can see it. Why? Because said person is dying. And dying right in front of us. Hello. Now, I can't walk past that. Okay, I have an inability to walk past that stuff. You know, if I see someone who's got this vision that's just dying, it's like, you know what, we need to talk. We need to bounce some ideas. I might not be able to help you, but I know a man who can. You know? Really. And we joke about it, but sometimes that's what's going on. You turn a corner and you say, it's like, come on. Really? Let's have some life. All right, so long-sighted, short-sighted. There are some medical terms here. So I'm short-sighted. Mary's more long-sighted than I am. So, long-sighted. Hypermetropia. Hypermetropia. Medical term for long-sightedness as opposed to short-sightedness, myopia. Long-sighted. Basically what long-sighted is, it basically means that you can see things that are far away in a distance, but you struggle to see clearly what's up close and personal. And short-sighted is the reverse. So I'm short-sighted, right? So I can see you guys up close and personal, that's why we can get a groove on. But I can't read stuff in the distance. Yeah? That affects my vision. Now let's just stop there and rewind a little bit. The reason we have to differentiate between seeing and vision, or sight and vision, is because sight is seeing with your human eyes, and vision is seeing with your spiritual heart. One more time. So, sight is seeing with your human eyes, and vision is seeing or discerning with your spiritual heart. Huge difference. Again, you need two wings to fly. I'm not saying like, you know, poke yourself in the eye and go blind up here because I've got a good heart. Yeah? Long-sighted. The situation for some of us is, right, that spiritually, inspirationally, in terms of the way we live our lives, we're long-sighted. We can't see clearly what's right in front of us. You know, like you meet the old codgers, right?
Watch it. Careful.
Grandpa. Your grandpa. Right, little kid, you got to grandpa. You can look, read this. And what does grandpa do? He goes,
He puts on his glasses.
right, push it far. Oh, now I can see it. Oh, not my, yeah, you with me? All right, that's what happens. In our own lives, right, metaphorically speaking, there are some things that are so clear, so brilliant, so happening, and they're so right now. But we don't see them. We don't see them. They're this close to us, we don't see them. Right? Because conceptually, for whatever reason, in our own hearts, our own minds, our own belief system, our own confidence, our own lack of confidence, right? It's just too damn close. We want to put some distance between us and it, so I can see clearly now. I can see clearly now. Lorraine has gone. I know I always bring Lorraine into it, but you know. Oh, Lorraine, okay. Yeah, we sometimes want some distance, and now I can see it. Okay, flip side of that, sometimes, Jono, beautiful man, sometimes we're just way too close to be able to see. The reason it's out of focus is because we're too close. We've got to step back. Aha. It's an aha moment. We have a number of aha moments. And a lot of them centre around this particular young lady here, Lucinda, aha, Ross, in the house. We love Lucinda. We have breakthroughs in theatre. When the guideposts are teaching, it's called discovery. When you make a discovery, it's an aha moment. We were teaching a few months ago, and it's just a beautiful moment. And we're just teaching away to devising this on this particular part of the scene. And the penny dropped, and Lucinda just got it. It just happened for her. It was beautiful to see. And I saw her getting it. It like happened right in front of me. It's the aha moment. It was beautiful. It's like, aha. Right? Yeah? Sometimes we're too close to it, Adam. right? It's like in my face. That's why I can't see it. I need some distance. Sometimes I can move it away from me, but more often than not, I need to move away from it. Right? I need to find a quiet place of solitude and stillness so I can get some perspective. Comprende? We cool? You guys still awake? Yeah, man. All right. Conversely, we have the opposite. We have those of us who are short-sighted, and we can see what's up close and personal, saying, yeah, what's the problem? Yeah, man, I've got this. Man, I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. What? What? Wait. Whoa. Whoa. All right? And it's like, how the heck do you expect me to move forward? I can't even see the damn thing. Right? Bring it closer. No. It is where it is. Whoa. Yeah, but I can't. It's not. It's all kind of like dimly through a glass. Can you hear me? I mean, can you bring it to focus and then I can move? But right now, it means I'll be going out into a place that's like a bit weird and unknown and unsure and like faith. Oh. There's an idea. Yeah? So sometimes we need to move away from it because we're up too close and personal. Sometimes it is too far. So if it's too far, we've got a couple of options, haven't we? We either step out in faith anyway, or we do something about it. If I can't see it because I'm short-sighted, it's over there, I've got to limit the distance, reduce the distance, which means, yeah man, we've got to start walking rather than just talking. You get me? Mm-hmm. All right, anyone know what we mean by blind-sightedness? Any idea what we mean by the technical term or non-technical term blind-sightedness?
Blinkers?
Yeah, there's an aspect of that in there. Anything else? Okay. There's blind-sightedness and there's blind-sidedness. And blind-sidedness actually morphs into it, really. The bottom line is that medically you have a sight issue. So medically, you're medically, clinically, technically blind. Tests have been run whereby some people have been able to differentiate between different colours even though they're blind. And they've done it again and again and again, so many tests. The percentage, the success rate was so high, they had to take it beyond chance. How can you be blind and yet still see? Right? It's a mystery. I'll just park it there for you. You can sort of take that away. We go, ooh. Yeah? So there's a lot going on in terms of what we do see and what we don't see, what we can see and what we can't see. And there's a lot going on in terms of the positions that we find ourselves in order for us to see more clearly and to see the best. Final little detail on this particular aspect. Parallax. One of my favourite words in the entire world. P-A-R-A-L-L-A-X. Parallax. P-A-R-A-L-L-A-X. Parallax. Any idea what that means?
Parallax. Yeah.
What is a parallax?
Fluorescent lights, when they're blinking, you think you see something but you don't. Or you don't see it when it is there.
Oh, good. Okay. I think fluorescent lights should be, all fluorescent lights in the world, right, should be brought together in one place and ceremoniously destroyed. But that's another story. Yeah, seeing something that's not there. In a phrase, my guys know this really well. I'm very big on sound bites. I like to condense a lot of information down into a sound bite as short as possible. That way I can teach you more quickly. That way I can remember it more easily. That way I can remember it more easily, therefore teach you more quickly. Yeah? We have a lot of mottos, mantras, references that we make. The Rich Life in Theatre and
The Rich Theatre in Life.
The Rich Theatre in Life. Yeah, man. Alright? So, parallax. When an object appears to change shape depending on the angle of view. Okay, it's there, but it's not there. When an object appears to change shape depending on the angle of view. My hand. Right? This is my hand. If you're in front of me like you are now, this is what you see. This is my hand, it's the same hand. If you were to rock and roll onto this side, and look at me from this way, that's what you say. It's completely, that looks completely different to that. Completely, yeah? That looks like that looks completely different. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same object. It just looks very, very different depending on the angle of view. Yeah? Yeah? Same object. It just looks different depending on the angle of view. Exactly how it is in our lives, guys. Exactly how it is in our lives. We are given a vision. We're given an insight. We're given an understanding. We grow in a vision. We grow in an insight. We grow in an ability, a skill, understanding. Right? And this is what we see. That's only part of the picture. Again, in our theatre classes, we're doing freeze frame tableaus or something. I'm saying to the guys, okay, cool. Right, those of you, like freeze, you couple going to freeze, rest you take a look. And I'm always saying to them, take a look at it from a different angle because you get a completely different insight, a completely different perspective when you look at it from a completely different angle. You get me? So for some of us, we have been given and we've got this insight, this vision, this idea, this concept, this belief, this faith, this hope, whatever it might be, and we see it as this. But there's so much more to that picture. Now maybe it's not going to move, in which case we've got to move, right, to see the fullness of the vision, to see the fullness of the picture, rather than just that little whatever is percent of the possibility. Right? You get me? And we need to encourage each other to do that. In the same way as I'm encouraging the students to say, yeah, it's cool, but look at it from this angle. And even change the level. Look at it from down here versus from here. Yeah? So we can look at exactly that same thing, but we can see a very, 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 very different picture, if you will, because of the angle of view. We get a different perspective. Sometimes, it's a metaphorical, emotional / spiritual thing. Right? It's not just a geographical, physical, I need to move to a different place. Sometimes it's like, I can't see this, right? Because emotionally I'm so bound up. I see this, and I only see this. I know this, but they tell me there's so much more, right? But I can't see it. Well, no. It's really hard to see that when you're emotionally bogged down in the darkness of yourself. Yeah? Which is a place we all go to. Welcome to the human race. Yeah? Sometimes we need to sort of grab somebody by the arm and say, yeah, that's cool, but come right, look at it from this angle. Whoa, man. Yeah? You get me? Parallax. All right. Right, power on. So, inspiration. So, let me just wrap up with vision. Vision is being wise enough to learn and brave enough to dream. Vision is being wise enough to learn, that's a discipline, it's a passion, and being brave enough to dream. Wise enough to learn, brave enough to dream. Because it is bravery to dream, as we mentioned in the previous lecture. All right, are we good? Mm-hmm. We cool? Yep. Right, I'm going to light the touch paper, I'm going to jump into inspiration. Close your eyes. Close your eyes for me, people. All right, I want to read this for you. Inspiration is simply saying yes to the flickering flame of maybe in your heart, refusing to be dampened, giving yourself permission to burn brightly. One more time. Inspiration is simply saying yes to that flickering flame of maybe in your heart, refusing to be dampened, giving yourself permission to burn brightly. Okay, can you open your eyes? Okay, so inspiration is, first of all, inspiration is not a passive thing. Inspiration is not some little comfortable, mollycoddle, cotton wool, passive thing. It's got edge. It's not just a thought, because that's an idea. It's not just a conviction, because that's a belief. Wherever our conviction might be, wherever our idea might be, our idea is going to stay an idea, and it's going to stay only an idea unless we do something about it. Hello. An idea it can be brilliant. Great. Will be doing good for you. If we don't actually do something about it, it will stay just an idea. Right? Inspiration will drive us forward. So I said to you at the top of this lecture, if I do my job properly, you'll be both inspired and frustrated. It needs that edge. We need to actually do something about it. Artist and casting agent Martin Ritz said the following: I don't have a lot of respect for talent. Thank you. Talent is genetic. It's what you do with it that counts. I don't have a lot of respect for talent. It's genetic. It's what you do with it that counts. I would say talent is a gift. Simple as. You're born with it. You did nothing to get it. You don't deserve it. You were just given it. Right? Simple as. What is the difference between talent and skill? Skill is something that has been honed, worked on, developed, drawn out, improved on. So I've taught many, many people, and I've had some people arrive in this situation, in class and performance and whatever it is, and they've got outrageous talent, natural talent, right? They're just very, very, very good naturally. Other people, they do not have that natural talent. They have to work harder and harder to deliver the same level. However, I've rocked the boat so many times in so many institutes that I've been teaching in this country and other places. Some really well-known places, some not some well-known places, some places unknown completely. But go into a place and they say to me, so what's your criteria for your marking, for your grading, Danny? I'm like, I want to see progress. I want to see development. So I was in a situation not so long ago where a certain individual, she always got distinctions, right? Always got distinctions. And they asked me to come in and teach a masterclass. So I came in, teach a physical theatre masterclass, had to be graded. So I graded it. She was naturally very, very talented. Right? I worked, and I was asked to come back and come back and come back. So I worked with her, as with other people, progressively through one term. And I gave the grade at the end. And she was absolutely hysterical, as was her mum, because she got a merit. He even brought her mum in, right? But she always gets a distinction. I mean, really, really. Yeah? Well, she didn't this time, she got a merit. But she always, I said, let me explain to you why. And the why was very simple, right? If you have a graph, right? Like steps going up and up and up and up and up. So here's the top, and here's the bottom. Now she arrived halfway already. She was very good naturally. Other people right down here. But she plateaued because I'm good. I'm going to get distinction anyway because I always get distinction. All right? But she didn't work. Right? She's got a swagger and gave me attitude. It's like, wrong guy. You want to mess with me? I really, 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 really suggest you don't. But if you want to play that game, bring it on. So she's like this, crawling up like this. Other people, way below her, right? Knuckling down, getting it, having a big series of serial aha moments. Right? So she's going like this, and they're going like this. And some of them finished in exactly the same place as her. Point is, they started down here and developed and progressed with some humility and some hard work. And she's like, swag on. Yeah? Just like swag on, swag on, swag on. And that's the difference. So, we've got to apply ourselves with the natural skills we've got, natural talent we have, so we can move forward. That's what Rick's talking about here. I have no respect for talent. Talent is just a gift. It's genetic. It's what you do with it that counts. So, we all, as in all, and the funny thing is about all, if you look at the dictionary, right, the Oxford Dictionary, right, the proper one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. As opposed to Webster's.
Whoa, deep down.
Yeah, man. You look in the dictionary, even in Webster's, even in Cambridge, even, right? Yeah, man. We look at the word all, you know what it means? It means all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow, how enlightening. Yeah, all. Yeah, so all talent is God-given. All talent that we have is a gift. It's just a gift. It's what we do with it that counts. We all, right, have talent of some kind or another. So for some of us, it's like, yeah, I've got that, but I'm going to hide it under the proverbial bushel. I'm going to put it over here somewhere, right? But I know it's there. Why? Yeah? So, our talent should be sharpened. It should be polished. It should be inspired to become more than what it initially was when we first received it. You get me? Right? That's what's so important. And for that to happen, we need that discipline we talked about. We need the focus that we talked about. We need the passion that we talked about. Ultimately, we've got to do something about it. Now, what does that mean? It means many different things to many different people. Some things we can do ourselves. We can say, I can move forward from my talent into skill, right, with discipline, honing, hard work, etc. Other times, we're going to need other people to come alongside us. We're always going to need other people to come alongside us at some point, right, to spur us on. Yeah? We're called to spur one another on, right? Spur one another on. What is a spur, people?
Lucinda?
What's a spur? Yeah, perfect person. What is a spur?
It's a metal object you can use on a horse to encourage or use as for precision of an aid.
There you go. To encourage. It is a piece of soft cotton, wool and plastic, did you say?
Oh no, metal.
Metal! Oh, okay, yes, metal. So, metal with a spike, you kick your horse to encourage. Yeah, man. Some precision. All right. Poke the bear. We're called to spur one another on, guys. Right? This is a directive for us. Spur one another on. Again, back to class. Sometimes we get the guys' class together, split them into groups, get together, work on this, challenge each other. Spur one another on. Right? To spur one another on is not to purr one another on. It's not. Right? Sometimes it's like, come on, bro, come on, get with it. You know, come on. All right. Yeah, man? It's a dangerous place to come to my own. Yeah, man. All right. We need that. We need a bit of a kick up the arse. All right? Sometimes. Excuse my French. Yeah? Not only do we need that, that is what's required for us. I was saying earlier on that Kieran, right, he's one of those guys that in class, he's there, and I walk up to him and I don't know, shout in his face or pull the hat all over his head or whatever, it's that kind of thing, right? It's just one of those things. Adam, on the other hand, I just walk up to Adam and I kick him in the stomach. You know, because he's Adam. Yeah, man. Respect. Yeah, man. Spur him on, you know? It's so funny, right? A few weeks ago in class, we were doing close combat, right? So we're doing stage combat, close kicks, well, punches and so forth. So I was saying to Adam, I said, right, I was talking to the class, I said, right, so it's important, I think I used Eden earlier on, and I said, so what you do is, you do this little pullback, so you're going to hit, all right, you're going to hit somebody, you pull back, so you've got this technique where you're going to pull back, so you hit them, right, but you're going to pull back, it allows you to get really close, all right, and pull back, it's really good, it's a lot of fun. Right, oh, you want some? Okay, so, anyway, just kidding. Yeah, right. So I had Eden, right, to start off with. So I said, right, so, stomach, abs, core, right, which is what our school's called. So, bang, and I'm going to kick, all right? So she's like, okay, fine. But I'm going to miss when I come back. That's what I did, it's cool, right? But with Adam, exactly the same. I said, right, now Adam, I am going to kick you in the stomach. Adam's like, okay. I said, no, Adam, I am going to kick you in the stomach. He said, okay, he's a tough guy. He was okay. But I wanted to make sure he understood, because he was like saying, okay. I said, no, Adam, I am going to kick you. He said, okay. So sure enough, back, kick. I said, so you get into tense, your abs, bang. That's what he did. I kicked him. We had a good time.
What have you done?
It was about what we call TT, timing and technique. Now the technique is how you kick, but the timing is everything. There's no point in me saying, okay, we've got this little arrangement with Eden. And I said to her, so, on 3, right, I'm going to go for the punch of the cheek, okay, on 3. Ready, 1, bang, all right? 1, 2, 3. Timing is everything, right? Technique, timing. Technique, timing, talent. The talent needs to develop into the skill. For the skill, that's going to require technique, training. It's also going to require time. It doesn't just happen overnight. Yeah? I like single malt whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Smoky, 17-year-old, 24-year-old, preferably single malt whiskey. Mary hates it, which is great. Very smoky. 24 years, that's the time it takes. The longer, the better. It just takes that much time. It just takes the time. There's a technique to it, but it needs time. So we can have the technique, we can have the inspiration, but it's still often going to take a little bit of time to be realized. It doesn't happen necessarily overnight. Okay. Fyodor Dostoevsky said the following: taking a new step, uttering a new word are what people fear the most. Taking a new step, uttering a new word are what people fear the most. New, new, new. Right? A lot of people are afraid, as in petrified, of the new. We want to go back to the familiar, the old, the I know all this stuff, I'm comfortable with my cotton wool and my cocoa and slippers. Thank you very much. Aren't you? Is that right, Vedley? Yeah?
Yeah.
Fyodor Dostoevsky. Taking a new step, uttering a new word are what people fear the most. The point is, right, regardless of that, if our inspiration is to be realised, we've got to do something about it. We've got to take that step. However fearful we might be, it has to happen. Otherwise, we are going to stay in the doldrums. We're going to be, well, we're basically going to slip down into hellish land, all right, and into death, right? So inspiration, one of the worst things we can do is have an idea that's really kick-ass cool, that's dynamic, that's explosive, that we know is life-changing. Our life-changing, other people's life-changing. It's just kick-ass cool as an idea, and it stays just an idea. How frustrating is that? Right, Adam says to me, I've got this fantastic idea. I say, brilliant, bro. Right, let's rock and roll with that. Right, let me know how you get on. Right, next month, exactly the same place. 6 months later, exactly the same place. 10 years later, exactly the same place. But by then, I was like, yeah, I've got this idea.
That's not me though.
What a shame. What could have been, yeah? We've got to do something about it. Nike, just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it, yeah? And I encourage us to challenge each other, spur one another on. If you see a little fire in someone's eyes, yeah? That inspiration there, rattle their cage. Right? Rattle their cage and say, cool, Eden, there's something going down, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Fan it into flame, fan it into flame. Yeah? Challenge, cool, love it, all right. So, 3 months from now, all right, feedback time. Right? Get back to me, let me know how it's worked out, yeah? Cool? Yep, nice glass of red wine, sit down, rock and roll. You with me? Right, we've got to do that, we need that. We need that, or else we'll be isolated, picked off, and we're going to die. All right. Picasso, Pablo Picasso, the famous tennis player. Just kidding. All right. What? Don't think so. Painting is just another way of keeping a diary. Pablo Picasso, quote, painting is just another way of keeping a diary. Right? Do something about it. It doesn't have to be all perfect, but script it down in some way, shape or form. Paint, write, sing, dance, whatever it might be, but do something about it, right? Don't let it put you in prison and frustrate you until you basically lose your vision, lose your passion, you deteriorate, down, 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 right? It's amazing how quickly that can happen. We need to do something about it. Okay, moving on. Refusing to be dampened, okay? Don't accept excuses, especially those so-called legitimate excuses, right? You know, oh, it'll never work. It's a silly idea. It's not the best use of my time. Oh, it doesn't seem very spiritual.
Yeah.
Hello, right? They're the worst, actually. You know, excuses that are obviously blatant excuses are obviously blatant excuses, right? But the so-called legitimate ones, they're way more difficult because there's an element of truth in what's being said, right? But it's still an excuse. It's still a reason to stay sitting on our butt doing nothing. Here's a talent I've given you. A talent, 2 talents, 5 talents, whatever it might be. What have you done with it? Oh, I was a very good caretaker. Look, I dug a hole, here it is, ta-da, bang. All right, so you didn't grow it then? No. You didn't share it? No. You just dug a hole and left it there? Yeah. Wah! Thank you for playing. Wrong answer. All right, going to move on. Are you cool?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go really fast this next section. I'm going to have to kill a little bit of inspiration because I want to get to potential. So let me just wrap a few things up for you here. There's a theory or a concept of the right-sided and left-sided brain. I'm sure you've heard about that, and there's quite a bit of controversy over it as to how true it is, whichever. The left side of the brain is your cognitive, rational, reasoning side, and your right-sided brain is your intuitive, dream state, creative side. All right, and sometimes they work in perfect harmony, lovely, and sometimes they fight each other. Right, madness. All right, and we all have that experience in one way, shape, or form. Again, it comes back to parallax. If we're looking at something, right, from a cognitive, rational, legitimate, measurable state, we're going to see it in one way. And if we look at exactly that same thing from our dream state, from our imagination, possibility, etc., etc., we're going to see a very, very different aspect, even though it's exactly the same thing. Which is why 2 people can look at exactly the same thing and get 2 very, 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 very different pictures.
Aha.
All right? Aha. Big time in the house. And what we tend to do is then either go, oh gosh, well Trace has got that. Okay, well that must be right then. Right, Tracy's an incredibly discerning woman, very intelligent, but also very just an incredibly gifted and skilled individual. And she listens, and she learns, and she passes on, and she speaks into. So you go, okay, well Tracy's got this, therefore it must mean this. I thought it meant that. All right, so we'll do a little bit of this. It's all right, you know. It's all right, get a bit of a groove on. It's all right. Sometimes like Papa wants, but just groove with me for a little bit. All right, rather than Yeah? Yeah, man. All right. Questions, let's start by step quickly. Questions are a really, really precious gift. Right? Really, really precious gift. In fact, I would argue that a question is more of a gift than the answer. Hello. That the question is much more precious and more of a gift than the answer. So, if I have a question, right, or Kieran has a question for me, Kieran asks the question. I meet with Kieran and we get into discussion. We get into relationship together. As he shares his question with me, as we wrestle for an answer together. When we get the answer, so often we say, cheers man, later, I'm out of here. All right? So the question is there for relationship. The question is there for us to enter into relationship, for us to wrestle, to have our hip displaced by the angels. We wrestle and say, you know what, I need to get an answer. And I'm not letting you go until I get an answer. Right? Yeah, you can displace my hip if you like. In fact, go ahead and do it. I want an answer. I want to have fellowship, I want to have relationship, I want to have intimacy, you know? And to have intimacy, to wrestle, you've got to be close enough. Makes some sense?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Final little quote to wrap up inspiration. Inspiration is simply saying yes to the flickering flame of maybe in your heart, refusing to be dampened, giving yourself permission to burn brightly. In other words, inspiration is being brave enough to trust. Inspiration is being brave enough to trust.
Yeah.
Right. Finally, stack, pack and wrap. Potential. Ha. Yeah, man. Okay, close your eyes. It's a bit longer, but hang with me because it's a cool one. Potential is a fact. Life. The metamorphosis of caterpillar to butterfly. Delicate, cocooned, and fraught with vulnerability. But if actively trusted, given time and a healthy environment, it will mature into flight. Can you open your eyes? Potential is a fact. Life. The metamorphosis from caterpillar to butterfly. Delicate, cocooned, and fraught with danger and vulnerability. But if actively trusted, given time and a healthy environment, it will mature into flight. Yeah, man. All right. So, potential is not some sort of ethereal, fragile, unattainable goal that's just sort of floating out of reach for us. It is a fact, right? Concrete, dynamic, and absolute, right? It is a fact. We'll come back to that in a second. The paradox is that it's a fact, but it's not fully realized yet. It's a fact, but it's not fully realized yet. So, it is now 20 to 7. What day is it, guys?
Monday.
You reckon?
No.
Depends on the part of the word you
Thank you very much. I have a very, very, very good friend. She was, she did a IDP with us, a training program with us, and then we fast-tracked her into the company, did some performances with us. Beautiful friend called Jodie. And she now runs her own company, performing arts company, and she lives in Dunedin, New Zealand. which is about as far away you can go. I was there last February, I was teaching the company. If I was to call, right, Jodie, right now, she'd pick up the phone and she'd say to me, yeah, Danny, it is indeed 20 to 7. Tuesday morning. Because in Dunedin, near Christchurch, New Zealand, it is already Tuesday. It's already Tuesday. If I had Jodie on the phone, she'd say to me, Danny, it's Tuesday. I said, no, it's Monday. She said, no, it's Tuesday. The fact is, it's Tuesday. It just hasn't got here yet. Potential is a fact. It just hasn't got here yet. The potential is a fact. It just hasn't got here yet. The word of truth is the word of truth. And just because it hasn't happened doesn't take anything away from the truth. It just hasn't got here yet. Yeah, man, it just hasn't got here yet. I love it. You get me? So potential is a fact. What's spoken over you, what's spoken into you, the talent you have, you work on that talent and you develop the talent into skill that will be realised. Over what time frame? That's a completely different story. But it is a fact. So one of the first things we've got to get our head around is not this kind of weird, fragile, ooh, eggshell, let's be careful, let's just be, ooh, because it might float away. Why? Yeah? Ordained, God-breathed fact. There it is. Right? It just might take a little or a lot of time, right, to be fully realised. But it is a fact. It just hasn't been realised yet. Okay, so the caterpillar is safely shrouded in a cocoon where it strengthens and it grows, and where the spectacular metamorphosis from caterpillar to butterfly is going to happen. Right? It's going to take place. The caterpillar becomes the young larva, the chrysalis, becomes a temporary home for the soon to emerge beautiful butterfly. That's the fact. The moment of expectation when the butterfly is about to be born. Right? Beautiful thing. So you've got the larva, and you've got the cocoon, you've got the larva, and you've got a shell that's all around it. And inside is that beginning of a butterfly. How does a butterfly get out? What happens is that chrysalis, that cocoon, has to deteriorate, right? The shell, the outer casing, has to deteriorate so that the butterfly wing can emerge. We've seen butterflies, you know how delicate the wing is. It can't push its way through. The outside needs to crumble and deteriorate to give it room so it's ready to fly and do its thing. That is the most beautiful moment, right? That moment of metamorphosis, that moment of change. Yeah? It's such a precious moment. It's just about to happen. It's the height of potential. It is also the height of danger. That exact same point is the most dangerous point. What happens is that just before that butterfly is able to push its wings through, the outer shell is deteriorated to such an extent. The butterfly itself is a particular delicacy, especially for wasps. A number of different insects, but particularly wasps, who can't get at it while it's got that casing over. But once that casing is deteriorated, which brings potential freedom, potential for the butterfly to emerge in its beauty, right? That is the moment of greatest potential. It is also the moment of greatest danger. It's when that butterfly is going to be under maximum potential attack. You get me? So, be really encouraged. We are full of potential. Yeah, we're full of potential. When the time comes, right, when we need to be incubated. We need to have the shell around us. We need the fluid, the synovial fluid, to come into the wings. Right, so ready, so we're able, so we're equipped to be able to fly. Yes, and it needs to happen while we're in a safe, healthy space. But we're not supposed to stay there. Duh. What are you doing? I'm flying in a box. Right? The sky's out there, man. The universe. Get out and fly. You with me? All right? So that point of potential we have is so amazing, it's so brilliant, but it's so scary. So if you feel, so first of all, you've all got incredible potential, right? Fact. So let's just take that one down for now, right? Yeah? If you feel in a place of incredible vulnerability, that's because you're in a place of incredible vulnerability. Thank you very much. Right? Yeah? If you feel you're in a place where you could be attacked / are being attacked, that's because you're in a place where you can be attacked / are being attacked. Thank you very much. It is all part of the process. It comes with the territory. All right? But the butterfly's got to go beyond all of that. Does every single butterfly, right, happen? Does a larva come through to the butterfly complete? No. No. Some get eaten along the way, some deteriorate. There are all sorts of, there's some false starts. That again is part of life. We dust ourselves down, we get back on the horse, all right? Have other people spur us on and we move forward. But don't be put off just because the circumstances and situations around you, the walls that have been so strong as a fortress, have been so comfortable, all right, are starting to deteriorate. That might not be simply because outside is attacking the inside, you know, it might simply be because, guess what? It's time for you to fly.
Yeah.
And you can't fly in a box. Get out! Yeah, man?
Yeah.
Woo! I'm excited about that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited about that. All right, let's move on. So it's not a time, basically it's not a time for us to feel sorry for ourselves, yeah? I mean, be real about it. Don't be in denial, right? This hurts, this is frustrating, this is disappointing, this is upsetting, this is not what I planned, I am, and all these different things come out, you know? I'm resenting this, how come they this, how come we're me, okay? That's where we're at. Okay, fine, cool, right? Take it to the cross. We know that, right? We know that. But let's not just pick ourselves. Just sort of marinate in the darkness, right? Okay. Actively trust. So actively trust means making plans and preparations, right, to facilitate this possible birth. Right? Actively trust is to plan, to prepare. Sometimes it's, oh, I'm trusting, yeah, and you're doing what? Oh, I'm trusting. And you're doing what? Trusting. All right. There's a time to be still. Absolutely. There's a time just to marinate. Goodness me, absolutely. Time for solitude, absolutely. Yeah? There's also a time to do something about it. And we need to get real with ourselves because many of us will find it way easier to kick back and say, I'm trusting, I'm soaking. Like, really? When really we should be doing something about it. Yeah, but we're gonna get people much more support from, oh, I'm trusting and I'm soaking and I'm doing all this different stuff. People go, oh yes, great, lovely, yeah? You step back and start doing something about it, right? And it falls apart. Where do you go? That's really embarrassing. Yeah? Like, so what? I mean, really, so what? Yeah? You need to get out of bed, guys, really. All right, so, given time. This means actively waiting, right? Which is believing and trusting. Actively waiting. This is a tough one. Again, paradox. Actively waiting. Did a piece many years ago in my company, my first company, where it's a huge festival. And we've been going for about 7-8 years. And when you first go, you're given like 1 minute on stage. And then when you've sort of earned your spurs, right? Over the years, they trust you more. They start giving you more and more time until finally, if you've really arrived, you could get the full 19 minutes on stage. Right? It's about 4,000 people. So we've been there a few years, and we built up a reputation and we got out 19 minutes. So finally we get 19 minutes. And we did this piece, right? And the piece is called Waiting. And there are 4 of us. And my company was called Diakonos Physical Theatre. So there's this big announcement, we're last on because it's like the big, we are like headlining because we've put in over the years. So it's a big prestigious idea. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, that's got Diakonos. And with a piece, Waiting. There's applause. Lights fade to black. Lights slowly come up. And on stage, nothing. People sit. 1 minute. Nothing. 2 minutes. Nothing. 3 minutes. 1 character, very slowly, walks on stage. Sits. So up stage right, 3/4 diagonal, profile. Sits. Another minute. Nothing. Lights crossfade. Seven minutes later, 8 minutes later, next character comes on. Similar deal, different place on stage. 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 16 minutes, the characters are on stage. At this point in time, people are giggling. There's this nervous shuffling going on in the house. Really awkward. 16 minutes, first person, very slowly, walks off stage. Right? Minute 17, next person. Minute 18, followed by 4th person. 1 minute to go. Fade, black. I tell you what, people were so angry. I mean, really angry. I have a mentor, I have a performing arts mentor. He taught me a lot of the mind and physical things I did back then. He was furious. I mean, they were furious. They said, this was like the pinnacle. You've got the 90-minute slot, guys, and that you threw away. You waited. I said, I didn't throw it away. I didn't waste it. He said, we were sitting there, we were waiting. I said, that's fine. Right? I mean, amazing, right? So it's a massive auditorium, a massive hotel. So I go late at night, so you go down to the bar, like you always do after all these shows and so forth. Anyway, so I've finished, and I'm going to my room. I've got my rucksack on, and I'm going to my room, all right, and no joke, this woman, right, because she starts wailing. She's down the corridor, right, and she starts screaming and wailing at me. So she starts approaching me, and no joke, right, she falls at my feet, she's grabbing my leg, all right, and she's crying and shaking. I'm like, whoa, what's going down here? All right, and she just keeps saying, sorry, I'm so sorry. You know, it's like, well, okay, so let's talk. So she was no place to stand up, so I knelt down. So sitting down, or lying down, in the middle of this corridor, right, and she's talking to me, and she said, I'm so sorry, because I kept laughing and giggling, all right, disrupting your piece. I said, you know what, I wasn't aware of that. You know, I'm on stage, I'm focused, I'm in the zone, I'm really not aware of what's going on, to be honest with you, but there you go. She said, but I need to tell you why. And she poured out her heart about how difficult it was for her to wait. About how she'd been waiting for some specific thing all of her life. And she just brushed it on the carpet, brushed it to the side, hadn't told anybody about it, had built this kind of nice solid wall and bravado, whatever it is. And doing the piece, completely destroyed her wall. Bang. And she said, but it gave me a lot of hope. But it's forced me to go beyond where I'm at. And that's uncomfortable. And in my discomfort and my nervousness, I was giggling and laughing and trying to disrupt as much as possible. That was my defense mechanism in the space. It's tough. actively waiting. This was actively waiting. This is a piece that we worked on very, 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 very hard to wait. And to be honest with you, right? And I know Mary will back this up, of course. I'm not a patient man. You know, waiting doesn't come easy for me. Again, I have to discipline myself up really hard so you know I am going to wait. If it takes a year, it takes a year. If it takes 10 years, it takes 10 years, right? But until I get that green light, I ain't gonna go. But that doesn't mean to say that I'm just sitting back in a rocking chair, cocoa and slippers, and going, okay, I'm waiting. I'm active about it. What are the possibilities? Am I keeping myself in shape, emotionally, spiritually? Yeah? What's going on? Yeah, I know you guys need to split, so bless you, yeah? It will mature into flight, right? The line is, it will mature into flight. Is that a bold statement? Absolutely. It absolutely is. But I fully believe it. Maybe it will take a little bit longer than we anticipated. It will almost definitely take a little longer than we want. Yeah, in Habakkuk 3, verses 2 and 3, there's a quote, a reference, all right? It's a prophetic word. And Habby, I call it Habby babes, right? So Habakkuk, Habby in the house. Habby babes. Yeah, man. So Habby babes in the house, and he's rocking, getting the groove on. And it's like, yo, write this down on a tablet. Now, it's not like a tablet, like, you know, paracetamol or something, right? It's like a piece of rock. Yeah? Write it down on a tablet. All right, a touch screen, yeah. Write it down, all right, so the hell can go with it, etc. Right? So basically what he's got this vision, right? He's got the vision, and the vision is that Babylon is going to burn. Babylon going to fall down, all right? That's what he's told, right? So he gets the vision. It's like, you know what? I'm telling you this now, right? I'm telling you this, Adam, this is what's going to happen, right? So he's telling Habby babes. Habby's like, yo, it's going down. So, yeah, you go out and you tell, right, Babylon, you tell them, the Babylonians, Babylon gonna burn, you know, right? Babylon gonna fall down, Babylon gonna burn to pieces. Because that's how God speaks, right? You white people, right? Right? You know? You know, God's got some real rhythm, you know what, right? One day we'll talk to you about you white people, you figure out what rhythm is, yeah, man? All right, so, all right. Ow! Yeah, man. All right. I have to slip my little bit of politically incorrectness in there somewhere.
Hey, I'm the African.
Babylon, yeah, man, you can join me. Yeah, Babylon's gonna burn, right? You got everything. Babylon gonna burn. So he goes out in obedience, right? And he goes and says, you know what? Babylon gonna burn. He's prophetic. Babylon's gonna burn. Babylon's gonna burn. All right. Exactly 1 month later, from that point, you know what happened? Nothing. A year later, nothing. 4 years later, nothing. 5.5 years later, nothing happened. 20 years later, nothing happened. 50 years later, nothing happened. You can imagine how he's feeling, right? Happy babes in the house. Convicted, yes, what's going to happen? 61 years, 3 days later, nothing happened. 65 years later, nothing happened. And then 65 years and 14 days later, nothing happened. 66 years later, Babylon fell. 66 years later, that spoken word, right, that prophecy became true. 66 years later. The reference is, though it lingers, which is to take some time, wait for it. 66 years, Habby babes, in the house, was waiting to see what he'd been told actually come true. He got the vision, he believed in it, he spoke it out, but it didn't happen for 66 years. And then 66 years later, it happened. So, if you're in a place where you have a vision, a sense, a drive, a calling, a belief, that's there for you and you're still waiting, and waiting, and waiting, you're in good company. Just because it's taking a long time doesn't mean to say that it's wrong. Are we going to hold on? Are we going to invest? Are we going to develop? Are we going to grow? Or are we going to say, it's not happening quick enough. It's not working to my time frame. It's not what I thought it would be like. It's uncomfortable. Yeah? We've got to go beyond that. It will mature into flight, all right? This is the reality of it. Albert Einstein, famous snooker player. Albert Einstein, he said a number of things, but one of the things he said was, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity, parallax. There's two ways of looking at this, half empty, half full. Oh, it's so difficult. Yeah. What an opportunity. What are we going to do? Oh, it's so difficult. May as well give up. Or, man, it's tough, but what an opportunity. Yeah? Einstein, same bloke, right? Einstein, he also said this. He said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Albert Einstein. Imagination is more important than knowledge. We live in a world, certainly in the Western world, where we worship knowledge. We said last lecture, we've got the monophonic and polyphonic. We've got this whole sense inside of us of the dream state, primary process, and the secondary state, education. We worship education. We worship knowledge. We worship getting a badge, dressing up like Batman, all right, and having a degree in our wall. Whoopee-dee. Yeah, and? Einstein. Imagination is more important than knowledge. You don't have to tell a little kid to have imagination. Right? You got a little 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, you give them a pen, whatever it is. This is a pen, but it's also a gun, it's an aeroplane, it's a fish. It's any number of things that you can possibly imagine. You don't have to tell a child, right, to imagine. But we lose that imagination very, very quickly. Yeah? We lose 35% of our imagination, active imagination, instinctive imagination by the time we're 8. Huge. And we lose 85% of it by the time we're 30. Instinctively. We don't imagine anymore because it's idle. It's waste of time. It's big idle moments. It's daydreaming. It's not constructive. Yeah? How do you measure it? It's wasting time. No, it's not. We need that imagination that the child has. Because unless we become like a little child...
Wow.
Hello. Unless you've got a degree, you won't enter the kingdom of heaven. Unless you've got a PhD, darling. No. Unless you become like a little child. Come on. Yeah? We need to get over ourselves, man. Okay? Play. Back to the theatre classes. Say to the guys quite often, we're working on a play. It's really hard work, and it is hard work. I mean, man, it is hard work. And this particular play we've chosen is really, really complex. It's brilliant. You need to come to the show and give the details, but it's so kick-ass cool, but it's hard work, isn't it?
Definitely.
Poor Kieran had a hard time.
It's hard work.
You can do it.
And I have to remind the guys, every now and again, like we said last lecture, we have to remind ourselves to breathe. Sometimes to remind ourselves it's play. So I'm saying to them, don't forget to play, because it is called a play, because you're supposed to...
Play the...
Thank you very much. Yeah, man. Ow! In the house. All right. So, to stat pack and wrap. So we're scared. Right? We're scared of stepping out of the cocoon, realising the potential, seeing what might happen, because we don't have all the answers. So we're suspicious. So we don't really trust ourselves. So we don't really trust other people around us. So we're tired. So we're afraid. So we're still in pain from previous hurt. Yeah, that's the reality. Come to a territory. Take it to the cross. Dust yourself down. Connect with each other. Spur each other on. Do not perish. Yeah? To finish off with, Eugene Peterson writes in The Message, his own brilliant way of writing in Colossians 3. He says this: so, if you're serious about living this new resurrection life, act like it. Pursue the things over which God presides. Don't shuffle along, eyes to the ground, absorbed with the things right in front of you. Look up and be alert to what's going on around Christ. That is where the action is. You need to see things from his perspective. Potential is a fact. Life. The metamorphosis of caterpillar to butterfly. Delicate, cocooned, and fraught with vulnerability. But, if actively trusted, given time and a healthy environment, it will mature into flight. A healthy environment, my friends, is not an environment of just safety and cotton wool. We need safety. A healthy environment is safety and challenge. One more time. A healthy environment is safety and challenge. You need challenge. If it's just safety, 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 cotton wool, cotton wool, cotton wool, right, we're not going to grow. If it's just challenge, we're going to be broken. To finish, vision is being brave enough to dream. Inspiration is being brave enough to trust. And potential is being brave enough to hope. So I've got some old school handout here for you that just has the basic quotes for VIP, for vision, for inspiration and potential. And before you massacre me for not saving trees, the reason why I've actually put this on a piece of paper with some gap and some space is because I want you to scribble in there for yourself. Right? Use the space here. What does that mean for you? Right here, right now. Right? Take a little bit of time to sort of press into that, wait on that, and let it actually marinate as part of the lifestyle, because it's not supposed to be a one-off thing, it's a lifestyle. We should be living in vision. We should be living in inspiration. We should be living in and living out of our potential. And we should be looking around at each other and saying, you know what? Okay, Adam, I see that in you. I see that potential. Come on. Right? Not, oh, I can see Adam's got potential. Whatever. No. Let's rattle the cage and encourage each other. Cool? Okay, we've run over time a little bit. My apologies for that. I hope it has been inspiring for you. And I hope that there's stuff you've been able to sort of learn from it and take home with you. We'll keep in touch as we always do. But for now, we'll start pack and wrap. And thank you very much.